Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Dan. So thank you for joining me. I wanted to give you a little bit of backstory about me. I am an over-the-road truck driver, and I started out by going to CDL school and obtaining my CDL Class A with air brake endorsement and combination. Well, my schooling was 18 weeks long, and I spent about $10,000 up front for the schooling. Before I decided to go to the schooling and get my CDL, I talked it over with my significant other for about 6 months, and then we came to the realization that I needed to get a CDL to make more money to support us. And I did my research online and found a CDL school that was an accredited school, and they had the best training program in the area for me. We spent 3 weeks on each back and maneuver, and then I went to their testing area and I tested out with a DOT certified grader for the test. Entire test did about 45 minutes, and it consisted of pre-trip, backing maneuvers, and a road ride to see how you do in town. A CDL school like that is not going to be for everybody, and it's not going to be in everybody's budget. So there are options like you can go to different companies that offer a training program, and they will help you obtain your CDL Class A to drive their equipment. The one catch to that is you are obligated to drive for them for roughly about a year, maybe more. I know here at Prime, the obligation is about a year, and that is for the free CDL training. Now, if you don't do the 1 year, you do owe for the training. So my advice would be, if you go to a company and obtain your CDL, then stick it out for the 1 year or more. The more experience you have, the more job opportunities you're going to have. I am a CDL instructor, and I am helping people get their CDL Class A. Here at Prime, I know that you now have to come to Prime with your learner's permit from your home state. You can no longer get a learner's permit in Missouri. You have to come with the permit from your home state. And that being said, I am going to have some videos on the pre-trip, and I'm going to get some backing videos, practicing backing, and then I'm going to have some try to do a little bit of vlogging, just to see the day-to-day stuff that we do. Right now I do have some driving videos. If you're interested in those, go ahead and pop over and watch some of those. Those are pretty interesting, but that will give you the gist of what we deal with on a day-to-day basis as far as driving. Some of the things that we see and some of the scenery that we go through. It's pretty interesting. A lot of the different states. Now, I am an over-the-road truck driver. I do go coast to coast and border to border. And then later on, I am going to have some TNT training videos. The PSD and the TNT training is here at Prime. The PSD is the Prime student driver. That's where you come in with a learner's permit, and we take you through the processes and teach you how to complete the test in real world scenarios, and we get you prepared to pass your CDL exam. And then once you pass your CDL exam, you take your score sheet back to your home DMV from the state that you live in, and then they will give you a hard copy CDL Class A if you pass. And then on the TNT phase, it is just a trainer and a trainee. The truck will be run as a team. That's pretty much just to get an experience driving, backing up, dealing with traffic, dealing with paperwork, you pretty much learn the job and how to perform the tasks of the job. And you also learn to sit and wait. A lot of what I do is a hurry up and wait game. I am reefer. I run with the reefer division at Prime. Prime does have flatbed and tanker divisions. All of the tankers are a food grade smoothbore tank, where you only haul food grade product like milk and chocolate and some oils. And then a lot of what I haul as a reefer is a lot of food grade. We do get some dry loads, and it would be dried goods. A lot of what I haul though is refrigerated, obviously because it's a reefer. So it is required to be at a certain temperature throughout transit. So we haul anywhere from flowers that you can get at your local floral store, all the way up to food grade machinery for an assembly line for like Tyson or other things. So that's the gist of what we haul. Flatbed, you can pretty much haul almost anything. Well, anything that a reefer can't haul, you can put on a flatbed as long as it meets the requirements, length and height and width wise. Like I said, I'm a reefer driver. Most of the information, I'm not going to give you too much information about flatbed because I only know a little bit of that side. And I'm not a tanker driver either, so I only know a little bit of information about that side. Most of what I'm trying to accomplish on this channel is to give general good information. I have been driving for 7 years. I've been driving since 2012. I got my license, I got my CDL Class A in late 2011. I got hired on by Prime in August of 2012, and I've been driving for them pretty much ever since. I have gone to one other company, and that didn't work out. Why get your CDL Class A? One reason to get a CDL Class A is that if you have a tanker endorsement, which if you are a reefer driver, a refrigerated driver, or you pull dry van trailers, we are now required to have a tanker endorsement on our license for some of the bulk liquids that we haul. Now, if you have a CDL Class A with the combinations and the air brake endorsement on there, you also would want the tanker endorsement, and you can get a hazmat as well on there. Hazmat's a little tricky because you have to renew it every so often, and you have to stay up to date and current with that endorsement. There's a lot of other things that go on with pulling hazmat loads. I do not pull hazmat loads. If you also get a passenger vehicle or the passenger endorsement on your CDL Class A, you can drive school buses. That's usually a Class B with passenger and air brake. But if you have a Class A, then you can also drive a school bus, or you can also drive a Greyhound or one of the big mega buses. Pretty much anything that has passengers on it, you will be able to drive with that endorsement. Now, some states, when you pull a flatbed, they do require that you have a metal coil endorsement on your CDL. Now, the metal coil endorsement is pretty much just letting them know that you know how to secure your load so you don't have a load or a metal coil roll off of your trailer because you didn't secure it properly. A lot of the load securement you can learn about as part of your, here at Prime, is be part of your job training. So you'll be learning how to secure loads and how to properly secure loads so that you can minimize the likelihood of having an incident on the road. We all try to be as safe as possible out here. We don't want to do anything too erratic because the fingers always start pointing towards the person with a CDL Class A that's driving an 80,000 pound vehicle. Now, with a lot of flatbeds, you also see the oversized loads. Now, those guys weigh well over 80,000 pounds, some of them. And there was one woman in particular, I was going westbound on I-80, and somebody asked her how heavy her load was, and she was pulling a house, or a half a house rather. And she was saying that her load was upwards of 100,000 pounds. So 100,000 pounds for just the load she was pulling without the weight of the truck and the trailer. Needless to say, anybody that knows 80 westbound, you're going to be going over Donner's Pass, and she was crawling up Donner's Pass. So anybody that has never driven a truck before, that's the reason why we truck drivers tend to go so slow going up hills, is because of the massive weight that we have on our trucks. Me personally, I'm a refrigerated driver. My maximum would be 80,000 pounds. It'd be 12 on the steers, 34 on the drives, and 34 on the trailer to make 80,000 pounds legally. And hopefully I'm full on fuel, because I would really hate to do half a tanks all the way across country. What would be a better solution for you? Would you be able to afford a CDL school and pay them up front, or would it be more accompanying to you and your financial situation to go to a school, a CDL school, or would it be more financially beneficial to you to go to a company that has a CDL school offer, a CDL training? It's honestly going to be up to you. If you have a wife and kids, you're going to have to do some soul searching and talk it over with your significant other. And it's going to be a long distance relationship, because if you do decide to go the truck driving route, you could be in California one week, and then the next week you could be up in upstate Maine, up towards Lewiston and Easton, Maine. So if you live in Tennessee and you live in Easton, Maine, that's a couple thousand miles. So if something happens, it may take you a few days, maybe a week, depending on the loads and what happens. If it's something serious, I hope that the company would help you out. Like, they would get you to a safe location to park your truck, and then give you an airplane ticket to go home, to be with your significant others and your family members for a serious reason. When you're an OTR driver, an over-the-road driver, you can be anywhere in the United States at any given point in time. And if you are an over-the-road driver that does go to Canada, then you're now across the border, and there are certain rules and regulations that you have to follow when you go to the border and cross into another country. Now, I personally have not done it, and from everybody that I've heard that has done it, it is a headache, but it does pay more. So you can look into that, and it's kind of go back and forth with the pros and the cons. Yes, you get paid more, but yes, there's more of a headache. We run on a certain log system for our hours of service down here in the United States, and in Canada they run on a different system. So there's a lot to consider in that aspect. Now some companies do go down into Mexico. Here at Prime, though, we have a facility that we go have the trailer inspected at, and then sometimes we'll deliver the load to that trailer. Deliver the load to that warehouse, and the load comes off of our trailer into a warehouse and then goes onto another trailer to go down south of the border into Mexico. Sometimes our trailers do go into Mexico to either deliver a load or get loaded, and then they come back across for us to take wherever we take it. They do an inspection before it leaves the U.S. and then after it comes back to the U.S. To make sure that there's no damages and everything's in proper working order. So Prime really takes care of their equipment, and they do a lot of preventative sort of things to make sure that we have good equipment. Now, with that being said, 90% of it is on the driver to make sure that the equipment is in proper working order, and that is part of the job. If your equipment isn't in proper working order, then you can get fined and shut down, which, depending on the severity of the offense, you as a driver may have to flip that bill. I'm not saying that all companies you have to flip the bill, but depending on what it is, it could be seen as a driver error and you might have to flip the bill. Those bills can get pretty pricey. So my advice would be do your pre-trips in the morning and then do your walk-arounds and pre-trips at night, just to make sure that everything is proper working order. It's not only a safety concern, it's also good to check your equipment every day. So I'm going to be going through the getting your CDL portion and then the after the getting your CDL portion, so you'll kind of get a rough idea. Now I can only do so many videos at once, and with the time requirements and my hours of service, so I am a truck driver first, so my job will come first over any of the videos that I put on the channel. I will try to stay as up to date as I can, and I will try to put consistent content out so that way you can have the information. And so that's the end of this video. Please subscribe, hit that like button, and ring the bell for more notifications. I will try to put out weekly content. Thanks for watching. Bye.